Mr. G Shave, back again for another head shave. Today I'm using the, obviously hardware wise, leaf. So my usual razor. Glyce, I like to use this on my head, it's very easy to use. I'm going with one I haven't used for a while, Maccaroot Body Shop. Maccaroot for Men shaving cream. This is version 1, I'm guessing. It's not the newer version. I've got the newer version, but I'm trying to use up the old version. So I'm following that up with Boots tea tree oil. Not a lot left in this one, but I've got more. So I'll make sure I've got a good stock of that. I think this is shave number 19. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll soon see when I post it up. So following up aftershave is going to be Brut, and the balm is going to be Nivea sensitive. Going back to the hardware, I'm using my usual head brush, which is the 28mm. It's the biggest brush I've got. The Yaqi Bear. All my head shaves are done with the Yaqi Bear unless I get my hands on a 30mm. But all of my shaves will be done with the Yaqi Bear until I replace it, I guess, with a bigger brush. But you know, I quite enjoy the Yaqi. It's a really good brush. So right, so I'm going to get myself ready, and I'll be right back. Right, back, got my pre-shave on, put the Glyce on my head. Just to show you, I think this is actually the third pot of Body Shop I've used. But it's the last of the original, or at least it's the last of the version 1 as far as I'm aware, that I've got. I have got another one in the cupboard there, but I think it's buried, so. So I've shaken out the brush, and I'm just going to, this is a cream, by the way. I'm just putting that much in the brush. This soap is very slick. It's really good cream, this, and cheap. You know, it's not an expensive cream or soap, whatever you want to call it. But right, let's go straight to the head. I hope everybody's had a good week. It's been fairly busy for me. And we've got, where I live in the West Midlands, we've got a new lockdown measures. We're not in full lockdown, but those in the UK will have seen it all over the news. This morning they announced that basically households can no longer mix. So not even with neighbours or family members, if they live outside of your household, then you're not allowed to visit each other. I guess you can visit each other from outside. So, you know, if I was stood in the doorway and one of my children came to visit, they could stand at the end of the drive or something like that, and we could talk. But yeah, the new measures here means that no two households, regardless of relationship, can mix. Which I understand why they've done it, because Birmingham is the second highest rate of infection. Birmingham, UK, is the second highest rate of infection in the UK. But what I don't kind of get is you can still meet up with your friends, up to 6 people, in a pub or a restaurant, which is indoors, which kind of, to me, it's a bit well, it's not hypocritical, it's just doesn't make sense. You know, if you're going to do something like that, you kind of need to extend it out to social places. Right, with the grain, Astra SP blades in this. I think it's their third use. Yeah, I think they need changing, but I'm not going to do it now. I'll get this shave done, and next shave I'll put some new blades in. Yeah, things in terms of virus numbers have increased, and I kind of thought that would happen because so many measures have been relaxed that it was bound to happen. You know, you open up the restaurants, you open up the bars, you know, people are always going to take advantage of any situation in terms of, you know, they might think, well, I can get away with this. And to be honest, if you are expecting the police to enforce this, yeah, I don't see that happening. I really don't. They've got enough on their plates. They haven't got the numbers in the UK. They've been underfunded for a long time. Not that I'm a particular fan of the police. I don't dislike them either. I've got no opinion. They do a good job as far as I'm aware. I think there are good and bad apples in any organisation, whether that be police, fire, ambulance, government, any job, in any situation, there are always good and bad apples. But I just don't see the sense of this new regulation, because you can still meet up with 6 people from as many households, well, as from 6 households, let's say, in a pub indoors, or in a bar indoors, or in a restaurant. So, yeah, they say that bars have, you know, they're COVID safe. Whilst there are some out there that are strictly adhering to the rules, there are many, many, many more that aren't. Many more. You know, I don't want to name pubs, but there are a lot of pubs taking advantage of uncertainty as to what the rules mean. When I went down to Cornwall, I did go to a bar. I didn't go every day. I just went a couple of days in the 2 weeks that I was down there. And then I only had a couple of beers and then I left. So I usually wasn't there much more than an hour at the most. But still, in that hour you can pick up stuff. But the bar was empty. You know, you could count on both hands. I mean, there was usually less than 10 people in there when I went, you know, at the time of day I went. I was usually early evening when I went. Most people were still down the beach or doing what they were doing. So the bar was usually empty. But I haven't been to any of my local pubs. So not that that's a condemnation of my local pubs. I'm sure they all do and follow the rules. Some maybe not, but you know, I don't know. I with the numbers rising, I ain't taking the risk to find out either. So I've got beers at home. I've got some great German Oktoberfest beer at home, and I've just cut myself, and I really have cut myself. I think that hurt. Pushed too hard. That bit me. So that's going to require some attention. I always seem to do it there. Really strange. Doing too much talking. Yeah, that's bleeding nicely. Yeah, so it's not just here in the UK that the numbers are increasing. They're increasing everywhere. Some faster than others. I mean, France, apparently they, over the weekend or something, one day on the weekend or one day last week they had, or this week even, they had 20,000 new infections in one day. And we're getting worried because we're up to 3,600 in a day. I think it's 3,600. But you need to be worried either way, regardless of the number. This virus hasn't gone away. I think what's happening now, because the deaths, people are assuming because the deaths are remaining the same, that it's mutated and it's no longer as lethal as it was. Well, I don't believe that. I think it's more down to it takes time for the virus to spread. You know, you go down a local bar, and I don't want to be ageist, but lots of youngsters are going out down the bars. They may be picking up the virus. They're far less likely to show any serious symptoms. You know, they may consider it to be just a bit of a cold. You know, that's as far as it goes, really. But then they go home to the parents' house or the grandparents or visit people, and that's where it spreads to the more vulnerable in society. So it's going to take time for those numbers in hospitals to increase. But it's already starting there. I saw in the news today that, you know, for instance, there's a hospital called the Queen Elizabeth in Birmingham that I know quite well. Their numbers are increasing. They're beginning to increase. Their numbers are up. So I think it's beginning to happen. Right, let's do the pickup pass and then get on with it. But I was watching a guy, I think his name's Dr. John Campbell. He's predicting a much bigger lockdown within the next 2 weeks in the UK. If you look him up on YouTube, he's kind of, you know, I think he's a bit of a, well, I know he's an expert because he's been interviewed by television channels and he's part of this. There's an app, a Covid19 app. If you look it up, I forget what it's called now. I'll link it below. But you can basically report on that app. You have to report on the app how you're feeling daily. It's a study done by one of the London universities. And they're using the data to give you live information about your local area whilst feeding back to the government. Really cut myself, sorry about the blood, people. So it's a useful app to have, and he's part of that study, and he's quite well informed. He puts out at least one video a day, if not two, updating people on the latest information. So well worth a watch, whether you're in this country or in other countries, because he does give international information on a regular basis. Most of his videos contain international information. So, right, that's my pickup pass done. Let's just make sure I've got everything. That's BBS. So I'm going to clean up and I'll be right back. Right back. Yeah, that's a lovely little bleeder. Going everywhere. Right, I've got to do the cold wash. There could be a lot of blood here, so here we go. Yeah, water's going pink. I don't think that's going to get stopped by the Allen block, but we'll give it a go. Get some more water on. This is definitely going to sting, but I want to get it on there. Oh God, yeah. That's a nasty one. Not a nasty one, not like I did with my shavette, but it's probably the worst cut I've had on my head ever. So I'm just keeping the Allen block on it, let it do its job. Still stinging. No stinging anywhere else on my head, but just there. Yeah. Try and make sure that's well and truly stopped with this if I can. If not, I'll have to get the next stick on it. But yeah, interesting. So there you go, folks. There's evidence that the leaf, if mishandled, and I'm telling you that's user error, that's not down to the razor, that's definitely user error. But I always seem to catch myself in that one spot, and this time I forgot to take care, and I really paid for it this time. So yeah, one of those. Right, let's give this time to work. So what's everybody been doing? What have you all been using for your daily shaves? You know, put in the comments below. I'd be interested to know what other people are using. I did my face shave on Tuesday, not Wednesday. I thought I'd let it, you know, you can still see it, but I think it's definitely visible, shall we say. I may actually, you know, I did cheat a little bit. I shaved on Monday as well, and Tuesday and Sunday, and you know, blah blah blah. So yeah, I want to get more shaves in, and I'm not going to video any more shaves than I'm already doing. One shave each head and face is enough for now. As I think I said before, it takes a while for me to create the video. There are many of you out there that just use your phone and literally no editing, straight up to YouTube. But I because of my interest in photography and now videography, I kind of like to go the whole hog. So it's no slight on anybody that doesn't do this. It's just something I enjoy doing. So I'm not saying it's a chore to do, but it's certainly a good chunk of work when you're doing 2 videos in a week and doing all the preparation, taking the photos, setting up all the camera gear to take photos, and then setting up all the video gear and doing the video, editing the video, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot going on. But anyway, that's enough time to let this work. I think it's actually stopped it. Wow, I didn't think that was going to work. Let's see if it remains stopped. Right, on with the boots. Boots is on. Straight on with the Brut aftershave. I think I used this a few videos ago. Oh God, I've gone mad. Oh well. That's stinging. That's definitely stinging. And then we'll go straight on with the Nivea. Let's see if that started again. No. That was really pumping out. It's funny how when you cut your head it's far worse. It's because you've got a lot more blood vessels, a much higher concentration of blood vessels in your scalp than you have pretty much anywhere else in your body. So your brain and scalp is very well fed with blood. So no matter where you cut it on your head, it's gonna bleed, which that one did, as the towel shows. For those of you who don't like blood, sorry. I hope none of you passed out on the floor. But seriously, yeah, sorry if I've offended you, if it's shown you too much blood, but there you go, that's part of shaving. If you don't like blood, you shouldn't be shaving, you know, at all. So, right, okay. That's me done. So it's from me, the Boots Maccaroot and the Leaf Razor. It's goodbye from me, and I'll see you tomorrow.